Have you ever felt an entire room tilt away from you, just because of a few careless words? One quick phrase, one loose sentence, and the mood shifts. Eyes move on, respect thins, presence fades, power, yours, slips like sand through open fingers. Picture it. You contribute in a meeting and somehow your point evaporates. In a heated moment, you blurt a weak line and hand control to the other person. In love, you offer a harmless reply that quietly teaches someone dear to you that your voice can be ignored. That's not bad luck. Words are the map of the mind. Choose the wrong ones, and you redraw yourself smaller than you are. Today on Stoicism Drive, we're removing 5 common words and phrases that quietly drain your strength. The last one is the trap most of us fall into almost every single day. Miss it, and you could spend years wondering why your voice doesn't land, why your presence never quite arrives. Stay until the end, because keeping your power is less about adding more talk and more about cutting the habits that weaken you without warning. If you're serious about mastering yourself and building a presence that doesn't wobble when life pushes back, take a second to subscribe to Stoicism Drive, so we can keep sharpening together. Word 1. Sorry, when you did nothing wrong. Picture this. You're presenting a bold idea, the room leans in. Someone cuts you off. Without thinking, you say, "Sorry, go ahead." It sounds polite, but you didn't just show manners, you erased yourself. In that instant, you gave yourself permission to vanish. You stepped into the shadows and silently announced, "My thoughts matter less." No one can shrink you without your cooperation. Unnecessary apologies are cooperation. Every needless sorry trains others to step over your words, and trains you to expect it. Scene A. Loss of presence. A junior teammate brings a fresh insight to a client call. A senior voice jumps in. "Sorry, you go ahead." The junior says. The idea goes cold. The client forgets. The call moves on. The teammate becomes scenery. Scene B. Keeping ground without aggression. The interruption comes. You breathe. You meet the moment and say, calmly, "One moment. There's more here." Or, "Hold that thought. I'll finish in 10 seconds. No spike in tone. No apology. Just a clear claim of space. One phrase erases you. The other deepens you. Authority rarely shouts. Authority doesn't beg. Authority is simply the refusal to surrender ground that is already yours. Micro swaps you can use today. Sorry for the delay. Right pointing arrow. Thanks for your patience. Sorry to bother. Right pointing arrow. Quick question for you. Sorry, is now a bad time? Right pointing arrow. Do you have 2 minutes now or later this afternoon? Sorry, I might be wrong. Right pointing arrow, here's my take. And I'm open to pushback. Practice cue. When you feel sorry, rise to your lips. Ask, am I at fault? If yes, own it cleanly. I was late, I'll make it right. If no, swap in gratitude, clarity, or a time boundary. Guard that word like you guard your focus. Word 2. Maybe. Maybe we should try this. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe that's the answer. It sounds reasonable, even humble, but maybe radiates hesitation. It says, I'm not fully behind my own words. And when you don't stand behind your words, why should anyone else? On any field, project room, family table, training ground, maybe spreads uncertainty like a spark in dry grass. It slows decisions, muddies plans, and invites stronger voices to steer. Negotiation example. Maybe we can lower the price. You just signaled flexibility without strategy. The other side presses. You gave them an opening you didn't need to give. Relationship example. Do you want a future with me? Maybe you intended honesty, but it lands as doubt. Commitment wilts under that chill. Clarity doesn't mean stubbornness. It means owning where you truly are. Clarity can be firm, yes, no, time-bound, I'll confirm by tomorrow 5 p.m., or conditional, yes. If X is true, otherwise, no. Each is clean, each is confident. Micro swaps for clarity. Maybe I'll attend, right pointing arrow, I'm in. Or, I'm out. Or, I'll confirm by 3 p.m. after I check schedules. Maybe this is the plan. Right pointing arrow. Here's the plan I propose. ABC if new info appears. We'll adjust. Maybe it's a bad idea. Right pointing arrow, flagging a risk. X. If we mitigate with Y, I'm comfortable proceeding. Mini exercise. For the next 24 hours. Notice each, maybe. Replace it with a clear commit, a clear decline, or a clear decision deadline. Watch how people respond differently, how meetings tighten, how trust rises, how your own mind calms once the fog lifts. Word 3. Can't. I can't do this. I can't handle it. I can't change. It feels honest, but it's often a cage. The moment you say, can't, your imagination obeys. Options disappear. You trade the driver's seat for the passenger's. Most barriers aren't walls. They're painted lines, beliefs that look solid until you press a palm against them. Can't cements those lines into brick. Performance example. A student whispers, I can't present. The body listens. Hands shake. Voice thins. The mind collapses, not from lack of ability, but from an early declaration of defeat. Professional example. I can't deal with this client. Creativity shuts down. Solutions that require flexibility vanish from view. Can't doesn't only report failure, it manufactures it. Reframe toolkit. I can't do this. Right pointing arrow. This is hard. But it's learnable. What's step 1? I can't handle it. Right pointing arrow. I can handle the next 10 minutes. Then I'll reassess. I can't change. Right pointing arrow. Change is slow. But I can improve 1% today. 3-step rescue when can't strikes. 1. Zoom in. Shrink the task until it's doable in 5 to 15 minutes. The smaller the step, the easier the start. 2. Name the fear. I'm afraid of looking foolish. Great. Then design for it. Practice to a camera. Get feedback in private. Script an opening line. 3. Move anyway. Action builds evidence. Evidence rewires belief. Belief reshapes your language. Micro wins that compound. 1 email written. 1 page read. 1 representative completed. Each small, I did, chips away at, I can't. Before long, the sentence changes. I will learn. I will endure. I will rise. Word 4. Whatever. Whatever feels neutral, even peaceful. It isn't. It's abdication. It says, I'm stepping out of my own life. My opinion has no weight. Say it often, and people believe you. They stop inviting your input. Decisions happen without you. You become a passenger in rooms where you once belonged at the table. Team example. The manager asks, which direction should we take? You shrug. Whatever you decide. It sounds agreeable, but reads as detachment. Responsibility avoids those who avoid it. Love example. Where do you want to go tonight? Whatever. It seems easygoing, until it feels like absence. Over time, whatever sands away the bond. Presence builds connection. Disengagement drains it. Replace resignation with intention. Whatever you want. Right pointing arrow. I'm good with A or B, leaning A because, reason. Whatever works. Right pointing arrow. I prefer next Tuesday afternoon. Thursday also works. Whatever, to conflict right pointing arrow. Here's what matters to me. X. What matters to you? A simple framework for stating a preference. 1. Name 2 acceptable options. I'm happy with Thai or Mediterranean. 2. Choose a leaning Mediterranean, lighter tonight. 3. Invite collaboration. If you're craving something else, say the word. This is not about being controlling, it's about being present. Present people carry weight. Whatever is the language of resignation. Presence is the language of power. Word 5. Always and never. This last one silently wrecks more trust than we realize. Extremes. You never listen. You always forget. These absolutes feel potent in anger, sharp and final. But they are almost never true. Worse, they do the exact opposite of what you want. They invite defense, not dialogue. What actually happens? You say, you never respect me. The other person scans their memory for counterexamples and prepares a case. You escalate. They fortify. The real issue gets buried under courtroom tactics. The conversation is lost, not because your hurt isn't real, but because the language turned a wound into an indictment. At work, you never deliver, crushes morale and muddies the path to improvement. You always mess up, installs shame where growth should be. Shame grows into silence. Silence blocks solutions. Precision opens doors. Swap absolutes for specifics. You never listen. Right pointing arrow. When I was talking about X earlier and the phone came out, I felt unheard. You always forget. Right pointing arrow. This is the third time the deadline slipped this month. It matters because it depends on B. You never care. Right pointing arrow. When I share something important and it gets a quick reply, I feel dismissed. Can we slow that part down? 3-part structure for difficult talks. Use this verbatim if helpful. 1. When, specific behavior, event. 2. I feel, emotion, because, impact. 3. Can we, specific request, next step. Example. When the agenda changes last minute, I feel stressed because the team scrambles. Can we lock it 24 hours prior and only change if urgent? No exaggeration, no character attack, just clarity aimed at repair. Why this works. Specifics reduce threat. When people aren't defending themselves against a sweeping label, they can actually hear you. Understanding becomes possible. The conversation shifts from who's wrong to how we fix it. Putting it all together. Words aren't just sounds, they're the shadows of your character. Clean language, clear intent, and calm delivery turn ordinary sentences into steady presence. Every line you speak either strengthens you, or quietly erodes who you are. A daily drill to hardwire these 5 upgrades. Morning. 2 minutes. Pick one word to guard today. Sorry. Maybe. Can't. Whatever. Or, always, never. Write 2 replacement phrases you'll use. Midday. 30 seconds, quick audit. How many times did the old word try to sneak in? Celebrate one swap you made. Evening. 2 minutes, journal one moment you handled better because of the swap. Tiny reps. Big returns. Quick reference, swap sheet. Sorry. When not at fault. Right pointing arrow, thanks for your patience. One moment, I'll finish this thought. Maybe, right pointing arrow. Yes, no, or, I'll confirm by time, or, yes, if X, otherwise no. Can't, right pointing arrow, it's difficult but possible. Step 1 is. Whatever, right pointing arrow. I prefer A or B leaning A. What matters to me is. Always, never, right pointing arrow, when, specific. I feel, emotion, because, impact. Can we, request. Voice and delivery tips, so your words land. Breathe before you speak. A single calm inhale lowers your pitch and steadies your pace. End sentences on a period, not a question mark. Avoid, upspeak, when you're making a point. Watch pacing. If you rush, people feel pushed. If you pause, people lean in. Stand or sit tall. Language rides posture. Presence begins before sound. Mindset shift. You don't have to talk more to have more presence. You have to talk cleaner. Remove the leaks, sorry, maybe, can't, whatever, always, never, and your natural authority flows without force. Final thoughts. Discipline in speech reflects discipline in thought. The person who masters their tongue masters their presence, and the person who masters presence earns respect without demanding it. Choose words that carry weight. Cut phrases that drain it. Protect your attention, your time, and your voice like the assets they are. If this video resonated, tap like, subscribe to Stoicism Drive, and drop a comment. I choose to guard my words, and practice it every day. Share this with someone who's ready to speak with steadiness, not noise. And when you're ready for the next step, watch our video. 7 Stoic phrases that command instant respect. One teaches you what to avoid, the other shows you what to adopt. Calm words, steady mind, unshakable presence. Let's build it together.